Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience.
Let's move on to some of the games from the trial, some key games there. The first one we got down here is the Warriors and the Dolphins. Mate, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, how good has he come back? And to think that he was out for a year, it looks like he's never left.
Yeah, he was unbelievable, and I thought just the way that he approached the trials, he's here for he's come back, with a point to prove. Mate, he was in everything. His footwork, the late footwork at the line, and I liked how their fullback was out before the game, and they didn't sort of move Roger to the fullback. This year he's a centre, and that's where they're going to keep him, and I think he's going to be unbelievable. I'm so excited. I'm on the Waz this year. I'm all over the Waz.
Oh, I know, mate. I know you are. 196 metres, 106 post contact, 2 line break assists, a try assist, 8 tackle busts. Like, that is sensational for someone who's been out of the game for so long. I'm going to make a little prediction here. I reckon he gets Dally M Centre of the Year by the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you there.
Yeah, he is fantastic. Question for you, for the Dolphins. Do you think that the Dolphins should try and fit Valence Tuwale into this side? He had 91 metres, 24 post contact, a line break, tackle bust, 5 hit-ups. He was on for about 15 minutes. Had a real rip and tear, didn't he?
Yeah, that's great stats for 15 minutes. Obviously, it's well documented in the pre-season when Wayne Bennett came out and said he wasn't fit. The way I see that, obviously, whatever they were doing behind closed doors wasn't working. He wasn't getting a reaction of it. So that was sort of, I guess, that was the last resort, to come out and drop him from the training squad. So that he needs to get fit, and he could have gone 2 ways. He could have spat the dummy, or he could have gone and got fit, and he's obviously gone the right way. He looked fit. His attack's great. Last year's attack's great. Hard to handle because he's so big. He just got caught out a little bit in defence last year. So you think you talk about Roger. If Roger come up against him with his defence, Roger would be licking his lips. But if he keeps working on his fitness, I think he's definitely an asset for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, obviously Tom Gilbert just got ruled out for the year with the ACL. Do you maybe see him coming into the forward rotation, playing a little bit of the game in the back row or something?
Yeah, he could. Yeah, obviously comes back down to fitness again, doesn't it? So, it's a lot harder in the forwards than in the centres, but I hope he does, because he has the potential to have sort of the cult following as one of my old teammates, Gorgeous George Rose. So, everyone got behind him last year. So, I hope he gets it together.
Yeah, totally. I agree. It's going to be interesting to see what that Dolphins 17 looks like. And speaking of the 17, who's your 6 for round 1 for the Dolphins? You got Nikorima, Katoa, or Kurt Donahue? Kurt Donahue out for the first game, but could definitely pick him when he comes back.
Look, Nikorima experience has been around. Katoa up and coming, and Donahue obviously out for the first round. I'll have to go Nikorima. I think he started on the weekend, so I'm assuming that's where they're going to start round 1. Yeah,
I agree. He's been phenomenal. Ended the year last year really well as well. The next game, the Dragons and the Tigers. Dragons smashed the Tigers. It's definitely not a headline that I thought I'd be reading. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, obviously, coming into that game, there's a lot of question marks over both teams. Both new coaches, sort of new squads. But I think the Tigers were really disappointing. I watched the Tigers the week before against the Warriors, when Tigers were full strength and Warriors had a lot of players out. Warriors played 60 minutes with 12 men, and the Tigers didn't get away from them. So I think it's worrying signs at the moment for the Tigers, and I've seen Benji come out and said that the attitude wasn't on, which is worrying as well. At the start of the year, you can't wait to play. So it's a little bit alarming, but never know, they could get it together. Yeah.
It is going to be interesting to see how Benji turns things around over the next 2 weeks. They've obviously got a week off for Vegas, and then they've got the bye in round 1, so he's got 2 weeks to sort of bring the troops together. I'm very keen to see how he brings this side together too. And with such a talented side on paper, realistically should be a top 8 side, or at least in and around there. But mentally, they haven't been able to get it together over the past few years. Yeah. With Benji as the new coach, I am keen to see just how he turns things around going into this year, and especially after a loss to a team who are the favourites realistically to get the spoon as well. it's definitely not good signs. And that's just a Shane Flanagan coach side for you as well, coming into the year. The Dragons doing some great things. Ben Hunt was obviously a standout from that game as well. 73 metres, 3 tackle busts, 2 tries, 2 offloads, 12 tackles, 313 kicking metres. I mean, he was just on song all night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And obviously, again, there was obviously all the talk about him wanting a release, but that shows he's committed. You know, it's a trial game, and he got in there and ripped in. So obviously, Flano sort of talked him around, and he seemed to be buying in. And you know, they need him to fire.
Yeah.
He's their heart and soul, isn't he? So if they've got any chance of sort of making a run at the top 8, then Ben Hunt needs to fire this year.
Well, everyone's talking about Ben Hunt and the turnaround for the Dragons. I think the big turnaround in this side has been Tyrell Sloan. Obviously made an error pretty much every time he touched the ball 2 weeks ago in that Charity Shield game. Comes out, 0 errors, and just looked silky with the football, set up a few tries, roaming both sides of the field. He looks really good now coming into the year, doesn't he, Tyrell Sloan?
Yeah, he does. You know, you go back to you know, I think what you read in the off-season, Flanagan come out and sort of said he needs to get a little bit tougher, especially in defence. And I think he sort of challenged him publicly, so you know, he can go and work on it. And I thought he was really good. You know, they can attack the Dragons. They can attack. It's obviously just lapses in defence and whatnot, but yeah, I think it's a big improvement.
Yeah, totally. And then Jaden Sewer as well, getting back to a bit of origin form. 155 metres, 42 post contact, a line break assist, 7 tackle busts, 12 hit ups, 3 offloads. He was silky as well. Really good coming into the year for him.
Yeah, he's good. He's really strong on that edge. Yeah, once again, you know, they need their experienced players to fire the Dragons, Ben Hunt and Sewer. So, you know, it'd be interesting. Obviously, it's only early. Dragons have been known to come out early in the year and fire and fizzle out. So, be interesting to see if they can maintain it this year.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams, come into the year. One wooden spoon favourite that just pumped the Tigers, and one Tiger side that on paper looks really good but struggling obviously during the preseason. And then the last game we'll touch on was the Titans and the Eels game. Mike Acevo's been suspended for 3 weeks. He's just today, well, when we're recording this today, accepted that 3-match ban. What are your thoughts on that one? Do you think that these rules and the strictness of these rules should be the same for trial games? What are your thoughts on the suspension, obviously, for the tackle on AJ?
Yeah, I think it has to be the same. When you start, you know, making exceptions for trials and stuff, that won't work. But obviously, he's a big loss. You know, they need him firing, especially, you know, on the kick returns when he brings it back so strongly. You know, his try scoring rate's quite good as well. So he's going to be a big loss. But, you know, at times last year, he was sort of in and out of games. You know, they need him for what he was like the year before. Big, powerful, strong, big kick returns. And so, yeah, hopefully, you know, for the next 3 weeks, you know, he's training hard and comes back with a point to prove.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who they pick as well on the wing there for the Parramatta Eels. They've obviously got Sean Russell, Hayes Dunster, Morgan Harper, who I thought against the Raiders the week before was really solid.
Yep.
And then Blaze Talagi, if they want to just get him into first grade as well, they can pick him in there. It will be interesting to see who they go for. Do you have any ideas of who you'd pick there?
Look, there's three probably blokes there who've played NRL before. I'd probably go maybe Sean Russell. I think that's probably what they'll lean towards. But, you know, whoever was going to go there will probably do a good job. Yeah,
I agree. And then talking about the Titans, AJ Brimson. We talked about Roger at centre. AJ was just another level, He was unreal.
Yeah, he was very good. Obviously, in the off-season, people didn't know whether he was going to come back as a centre or a fullback. But obviously, he come back as a centre, and, yeah, he was unbelievable. And those stats, he come off early as well. So, yeah, it's positive signs up there for them.
Yeah, totally. They've obviously got a few outs in round 1. Jaden Campbell and Dave Fafita as well for the first 4 weeks. I think Fafita's done his pec. Jaden Campbell's done something to his leg. Big losses, but, I mean, they've got rookies that can go in there and kill it. Keanu Keeney at fullback has done a great job last year and obviously coming into the trials as well.
Yeah.
And then they've got Jacob Alec. Interestingly though, Bo Firma's actually moved to the left. So does it hint at maybe Fafita going to the right-hand side with Tanner Boyd and working with AJ Brimson, building a combination there?
Yeah, I think he'll be whatever side Kieran Foran's playing on. They had a good combination last year. He plays on the left, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, plays on the left. So I think him and Foran strike up a good combination. But like you said, it's with Des up there now. I know from experience, if there's any people coming into first grade, well, you know what you expect out from Des, and you know what to expect from the team. So I think whoever they pull up there will do a good job for them.
And they've got really good rookies as well. We watched a few of them. So I think that the Titans could be a top 8 side this year, really. They play a really fast brand of football, and I think they could catch a few top 8 teams from last year off guard for sure. So Titans looking good, Eels looking really good as well. Excited to see how both of those teams come into the season for 2024.